Welcome to All Saints Podcast. My name is Bill Berger. Really glad you're with us. I wanted to take a minute just to give you a scripture verse that has really been very important to me these past few months. And it's out of Psalm chapter 46, verse 10. And it's, "Be still and know that I am God." It's this really simple, short reminder of who God is. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes and just unpack it a bit. And maybe it's something that'll be super encouraging for you as you're navigating the time. Maybe you're in a space right now that's really difficult and trying. And maybe this will be something that would give you encouragement. So, number one, be still and know. That really means to be calm and learn to trust the character of God, because we often find ourselves uncertain about the outcomes of the challenges we encounter, and our overwhelmed minds can become consumed by the unknown because we're always trying to fix it, but leaving us with this profound sense of emptiness and despair. And that may sound dramatic, but sometimes that's exactly how it feels. So, we need to learn in these difficult moments that there's this essential understanding of this anchor that we can reflect on the truths that we can hold dear of who God is and the knowledge that we possess. And in 1 John 5:15, it says, "And since we know he hears us when we make requests, we also know that he will give us what we ask for." And so, a lot of people have taken that to mean, some sort of prosperity kind of understanding, and it's really not. It's, praying, God's will is asking for things like peace and hope and joy in situations that are difficult. So we have the assurance that God is always in control of our lives, listening intently to our prayers and responding to them, even if God's answers differ from our desires or expectations. But faith is this. Prayer is faith. Prayer is for our soul. When we run wholeheartedly to Jesus, we can embrace a profound hope that blossoms solely from our deep and personal relationship with God. And in times of certainty, this connection provides us with a comforting reminder of his unwavering presence and guidance. 2, be still and know means to be untroubled. I don't know if that's a word, but we can trust God. And again, it goes back to his character that he'll do what he says. I don't know about you, but I have this knack of getting lost in the if only. I replay these scenarios in my mind. If only I, made this other decision. If only I had not said what I said, or if only I said what I said, should have said what I said. And if only I shared that information earlier, all these if onlys, each if only thought weighs heavily, and it can, really put me in this place where I'm just feeling regretful, or I'm feeling doubtful about, my ability, or etc. But the challenge with the if only mindset is that while we may have faith in God's character, it can indicate a difficulty in trusting his abilities. And I think, that's where we really, really like the, I can solve this, I can fix it, hey, God, I'll give you a break on this one. Sometimes we do that as people of faith. But I think it can really indicate, again, this difficulty in fully trusting, God's character. So what makes it so challenging for us to lean on God during our most trying times? Think about that. Exodus 14:14 reminds us of God's desire to hear our burdens and fight our battles with us. The Lord will fight for you. Just be still. I love that. So in moments when darkness may seem to envelop, we often find ourselves grappling with the idea of surrendering control to the one who possesses the power to lead us through it. Embracing stillness and acknowledging, his divinity invites us to elevate our trust. And that's an endeavor that may test our faith in significant ways. So by thoughtfully setting aside our if-onlys and opting to place our trust in God, we can open ourselves to experiencing his love in profound and transformative ways. And that's the whole point of relationship with God, is this transformative experience with him. Number 3, be still and know means be at peace and realize that there is a certain reality that we can hold on to. When we're engulfed in the throes of pain, it often feels impossible to perceive God's hand at work in our lives. The shadows of our suffering can obscure the many blessings and good things that are still present, leaving us, wanting more clarity until we find our way to our true residence, eternity with God. So it's a daunting challenge for our minds to grasp the idea that even though we're in these dark moments, God has a bigger plan unfolding, a plan filled with hope and purpose. Yet, even when we're sad, we must remember that he's always at work, crafting a narrative that we may not yet understand. And that's faith. I love Isaiah 55:9. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, says God. Again, in moments when we find ourselves grappling with confusion and sorrow, and that clouds our perception of God's greater plan, we can still find a sense of tranquility. I really need this during this season that we're in with the election. Sometimes I just get so distraught, I get so run down, I get so heavy, I get so angry that I forget that peace arises from the comforting belief that God's unwavering goodness and abundant mercy is still guiding me even through these moments when I just feel the most despair. Number 4, learning to rest in God's presence and recognize the depth of his love for us, probably the biggest point here. So the experience of being enveloped in God's forgiveness that only Jesus can provide sometimes can be overwhelming. In God's presence, we uncover a wellspring of unconditional love that fills our hearts and souls, and in those quiet moments of stillness before him, we can discover a new level of intimacy with God, one that allows us to experience his essence in ways we've never imagined before. And that's the beauty of just being still and knowing that he is God. Lastly, it's not easy, but be assured, Jesus is always with us. He said it, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So God has, again, given us this gift in this beautiful scripture, be still and know that I am God. And he recognizes that when we embrace this gift, we can often, it often really feels like a life ring amid life's chaos. So therefore, with great patience, God guides us in learning how to truly be still and know. Through all of our trials, our challenges, our pains, our grief, our frustrations, God gently helps us find peace and understanding, inviting us to rest in his presence. Psalm 37:7 reassures us, be still in the presence of the Lord. So we can rest, be calm, be untroubled, be at peace, knowing that when troubles threaten to overtake us, God's presence constantly surrounds us. So I hope this is encouraging. I hope you find something with it. Maybe share it with somebody. But hey, let me know if it's something that was really helpful for you. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.